would be, how did your week go? Did you share your emotional moments with anybody? How was the homework? Do you feel stuck?
I'll go. Dawn Marie.
Yeah, Dawn Marie.
I did not share the moments thing, but I haven't really been out. I've been in and working a lot, but I did open up my homework, and I love your format and the questions, the prompting questions. I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, for your Rebel Voice.
Yes. So I did the three assignments: Rebel Voice, power words, and a simple tagline. And I haven't really gotten to the other two, but those ones seem like probably the most involved, and that might be why I didn't get to them.
Not so much.
But I have spent some time thinking about, ruminating a little bit on what, have you ever would look like for me.
Yeah. Did you write anything, or do you want to share anything?
I didn't write anything. And I have difficulty in that department because I work with such a wide variety of issues. So,
So what I suggest is you write one for all the different things that you allow yourself to play with it a bit, but you can make it general. Like, I don't know if you remember, we were talking with Jean when Jean was going, I work with people under trauma or whatever. And we were trying to kind of generalize it at first, just to allow it to be a little open.
Well, it would be like, one would be, have you ever found yourself starting really strong to just sort of and not really finish? Well, I help people finish just as strong as they start. Okay,
great. So that's great. And the when is when you say,
not have you ever.
Because when you say have you ever, they'll either go, yeah, no. But when you say, the thing about when, and the reason we're sticking to that structure is it allows people to imagine the situation. So it's either like, when you start something and you're just like the fastest one out of the gate, like you're the, the tortoise and the hare kind of deal. You're the tortoise or you're the hare. But then like a week into it, you just lost all of your momentum. And they'll go, yeah, I do that sometimes. Or, my cousin does that all the time. Or my husband really has that problem. Usually someone else, right? It just opens it for people,
And what do you do if they're like, no, that's not me?
Mm-hmm. That's okay too.
Have you just excluded someone from your contact list?
What you're looking for is the right people, not every person. So the whens are going to hit your ideal client. And they're going to go, yeah.
Right.
And then you're going to say, well, I work with, people that struggle with that. And it really help them to keep whatever you're going to say. Really help them keep their fire stoked to be, enthusiastic all the way to the end of a project or whatever it is. So I think, and here's the thing that I suggest. So I know that you don't interact with a lot of people, but you do send emails, right?
No.
Oh, okay. You get on the phone with people.
I do interact with a lot of people. I haven't really been, because I'm very much at the computer the last couple of weeks.
Well, here's what you want to start to think about on your computer is try it as an email and send it to friends, send it to clients that you've had. Just start to allow yourself to express it, even as be interesting to try it on Facebook as like a message.
What would that look like?
Well, it looked like, when you do the, when, da-da-da. So, when, what was yours about starting, when you start a project and you're all excited, but then it seems like a week into it and you lose your focus. I really help people stay focused throughout the entire project. What, do you do that? You just ask a question.
Okay.
You're not trying to sell them anything, you're trying to engage them. Do you ever find yourself doing that? Or how do you solve that for yourself? What do you do to keep yourself focused? Right? Because Facebook is all about engagement. It's all about asking questions. You could even post it on your wall, right? You know how people are always posting these questions like, do you like the color pink or whatever? I mean, I can hardly answer. I don't answer a lot of these things. But, when you're setting it up like a story, it would be interesting. This is kind of a test. It would be interesting to see if people engage with you. And then you can see who responds.
Right.
Then you can send them a message, a private message if you want. Hey, thanks for, it's always like, thank you for responding to my question, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And then you ask them another question. I just want you guys to start doing stuff that's really uncomfortable, that could lead you to being able to create new leads from unexpected places.
What do you think of Facebook Live?
Love it. I don't know that much about it. I'm actually studying it right now. I think all of us on this call could learn how to use it to build leads online. And the way that you do that is kind of what I just told you, as well as you teach. You teach your stuff online and invite people. There's a whole strategy for it that we're not really going to dive into. But all the stuff that you're going to learn, you can apply any place. That's what's great about it. It's really the foundational stuff. I think Facebook Live is very hot right now. And I do have a suggestion if you want to study with somebody who I think is crushing it.
Did it?
And I'm happy to, give you her name and you can check her out. She's awesome.
I'm sure we know her.
Do you know her? Molly. Molly's crushing it.
I did her class.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And it's good.
Yeah, it should
Great. It's actually really great.
Yeah, get you started, basically. That should get you started. All of her suggestions are really great. And she's also very, if you guys don't know, a colleague of ours, Molly Mahoney, she teaches Facebook Live and how to build a tribe and how to get clients and how to do all that in Facebook. And it's a very interesting thing to think about. I personally have done a lot of live stuff out, networking is where I started, and speaking. And now I'm looking at how can I put both of those things together with Facebook Live. So that's what I think about it. So you worked on the simple tagline, Dawn Marie?
Yeah.
What did you come up with? I'm curious.
I can't get to it because it's on my other computer.
Okay. It's okay.
Which I'm using the keyboard and the mouse for, so I'm looking at my computer, but I can't access the material.
Okay.
So sorry.
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Yeah, I'm frustrated with the power words because everything that I come up with, I'm like, oh, it's just so used, it's so overdone, and I really can't come up with anything that I've been trying to work on all of this stuff for so long, and I never seem to get anything that just goes, yes.
Right. They
yes,
really land.
okay. Nothing really just feels like it's original or energizes me or it feels like me.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. So on the power words, what are you like when you're totally in the zone? When you are working with people or you're writing or you're doing whatever you do and you forget who you are?
Yeah, well, there's a super focus that I don't really have at any other time. So when I've got somebody in front of me, I'm so completely super, focused on them.
Okay.
And I actually kind of feel like I get this blueprint of their brain and their mind and their blocks.
Okay, so you have you're so present with them. I mean, how I would say that is, you have this fierce focus that allows you to kind of intuitively read their mind. Would that describe that?
I wouldn't say read their mind. I'm not a mind reader, but
Okay.
I do observe subtleties in body language and subtleties in voice and word choices and things like that allow me to really see what's going on.
Okay, so would you say then you focus on would you say profound listening? Because when you listen, the way you just talked about listening, which isn't how most people.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of listen with everything, with my eyes.
Like all your senses are engaged in listening.
Yes.
So listening becomes hyper.
And I love the word engaged, but it's,
Well, you're hyper focused, right? But I personally like the word profound listening. And I don't know if you like it, but it's like a listening that listens behind what's being presented. It's below, it's what isn't spoken, right? Or what isn't expressed. It's like you listen to the space in between the words.
I hear the subconscious mind speaking underneath the conscious babbling.
Yeah. So I think, one of the ways you could say it is profound, or you could find another word to describe that kind of listening.
Well, I think it's profound. I think it's also compassionate. I think it's engaged.
Okay.
I think it's present, focused, aware.
Okay, so your description would be, so it was profound, compassionate, engaged, and focused is what I'm trying to write. I'm a very slow writer.
That's okay.
Was there any others about the listening?
I don't know. Do you guys remember?
Did anybody hear it? It's being recorded, which is great. So you could say, I listen for what's not being said.
Yeah.
Or I listen to what's unspoken.
Or what the subconscious is saying.
Yeah. I listen for the subtleties. You could say the subtleties. Or even I listen to subtlety. I have a unique way of listening with the intent to uncover what isn't said, or something like that.
I mean, I think of all the skills that I've ever learned, really, really listening and allowing people to feel heard and expressed offers.
It's
solutions get presented to them. They just come up for themselves. They hear, they feel heard, and the solution comes.
Yeah, it's extraordinary actually to be listened to. So even extraordinary listening would be another way to say that. Or
But do you think that this is compelling to a client?
If you said to me that you're a space for profound listening or extraordinary listening.
I've never heard that.
Did you hear what I just said or no?
I didn't hear the last part.
I provide a space of extraordinary listening. so that you can uncover the truth about who you really are. I'd be going, what?
I know, it's like,
Kind of cool, isn't it? I mean, I don't know.
who does that? Who does that?
Who does that? How do you do it? Tell me more. It's like you actually provide the space for another person to be themselves. It's the other way to say it.
I think so. I create safety very quickly.
Yeah. So I would play with that a little bit. You can tweak it around a little bit and see how you like it. You know, it's kind of interesting to claim things for people. You know, I'm the space of whatever we said, profound listening, or I'm the space of engaged compassion.
And all the words like compassionate or heartfelt, they just seem a little too soft and fluffy for me.
Okay.
So I'm
That's
liking,
when you add,
I'm liking where you're going.
that's when you add words like, so when you find that you want something a little edgier, that's when you add words like fierce compassion. Because you got two different feels. You
And
got,
that feels so much better.
okay, so that's more your brand.
I am nurturing. I am compassionate. I do offer all of that, but it's not. You're going in the right direction.
Yeah, you have a little more verve in there for you. And I think that all of that's really great because people are going
to. I hear it, and I go, yeah, whatever.
Right. But you want to be, it wants to be, when you put the words together, you want it to be something that lights you up, and it might scare you. Then you know you're on the right track. So it's like, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So fierce compassion, or there's another one I really liked about it's kind of like effortless discipline. When you
I need to speak to that person.
Right, effortless discipline. So when you put certain words together like that, that's when you're looking at your power words. When you're just writing, this is what I'm like. I'm really focused, or I'm very compassionate, or I'm this listening, this super powerful listening. Then you start to look at, well, how can I put them together? So I had shared this, and I'll share it with you guys again. Part of it is when you look at your fascination advantage, which I think I said I was going to send you yours, which I didn't, but I will. After we get off the call.
I think you said you had a copy of it.
I think I know what it is. I don't know if I have a copy. I might. Like one of my clients was a connoisseur, and I know there's a couple of you on the call that are connoisseurs. So her whole thing is about raising the bar. So it's all about integrity, excellence, rigor, clarity, right? So we just took her other set of words. So it was fierce integrity, unwavering excellence, inspired rigor, and
so throw in some adjectives that
you throw in an adjective and a noun. You put them together. So it's like maybe
it's almost contradictory, like fierce compassion.
Right. That's what. Yeah, totally. That's what intrigues people, because people don't talk that way. They don't use a hard, or what we consider, a hard word with a soft word. Always interesting. Like,
thank you.
Fiercely vulnerable.
Right.
Whatever. That kind of stuff. Okay, great. Anybody else want to go? Hi, Cher.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Was with a client.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Everyone is just kind of making comments about what was it like to do the homework? Did you try any of your when statements on people? How did it?
I did try out my when statement, and I found that I kind of jumped in and then muddled it up a little bit and figured enthusiasm was going to carry it over. So I just went with enthusiasm, and that it helped a lot, because I had enough of the basic outline to like start, and then this is okay. Then I jumped to the end, but I just was so enthusiastic. I got the emotion over, if
Yeah.
not so much the words,
Because here's what happens. You guys want to start to trust yourselves that enthusiasm will carry the day. Your excitement about what it is you're doing and how, not like a lot of words about it, but just your excitement in sharing will carry the day. People will respond to the enthusiasm. So I have a mentor that was fond of saying, marketing is the transference of enthusiasm from one person to another. We get up here so much. This is not so much why people want to work with you. This actually blocks them a lot.
Yeah, I found that when I tried to remember what I wrote down,
Uh-huh.
I was getting into trouble, so I just went with my emotion.
Okay, good. And did you find that people responded?
Yeah,
or?
no, I had a very good reaction, very positive reaction. So that was good. It was a good learning experience. Once I get the patter down so it just falls out of my mouth a little bit with more practice, then I can combine the patter with enthusiasm, so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, some of us like to memorize first. Some of us will jump in and be more spontaneous and then come back and memorize or never memorize. But it's you want to work with your own natural pattern or your own character. So for some of us, I know for myself, and they say this all the time when you're speaking, never memorize what it is you're going to say. And for me, it's just the opposite. Memorize because I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants anyway.
Right.
Okay. So it's good for me to have a particular amount of structure in the memorizing.
Right.
For others, they're like, oh, I gotta have that structure or I'm not going to even take a step to open my mouth. Right. So for those people, it's like, go out and play.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just the opposite. Don't memorize, but understand
the foundation.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to do.
General structure of it.
Yeah.
And as you get more comfortable, you'll just know it.
Yeah.
And you can make it up on the spot, depending on who you're standing in front of.
Yeah, because it changes. It really does change who you're speaking to.
Yeah, you could be standing in front of, I know you work with both men and women. Is that right?
Yeah, I do, but mostly women right now.
Okay. So, if you're talking to a man, you might be structured a little bit differently. Like, when you have to wait for hours and hours for your wife to get dressed, put on her makeup. Like, you've already watched the football game or listened to the news.
And she's still not sure.
And she still hasn't decided.
I help fix that.
Yeah, if you really want to shortcut that and make your life like really smooth, that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it does depend on who you're standing in front of, the story that you decide to tell.
It's a story.
It's a story. We're learning how to tell stories. And in our next section, we're going to do storytelling. We're actually going to write stories. You guys are going to love it. But for now, we're making up the you-know-whens and trying them out. So great.
Yeah, it was an interesting process.
The other thing that you can do when people get really excited about listening to your you-know-when is you can go, hey, well, would you like to have a conversation with me and look at it a little bit deeper for yourself? Because you seem really interested.
Yeah, that's the next step.
The next piece to add on, oh, you seem really interested in this. Would you like to have a conversation with me? Because you might be talking to your ideal client.
Yeah.
If they get excited about what you say, they probably are your ideal client.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to be distracted and drinking their coffee or doing whatever else they do, right?
Yeah. Or nod politely and
Yeah, or yeah, people do all sorts of interesting things to be polite, but you'll feel it. You'll feel them want to engage, and that's when you want to offer an engagement
Okay.
instead of walking away and going, "Oh, see you when I see you," which we know that's just like never. So that's the next step. It takes a little courage to do that because
Yeah.
you are now asking, right?
Yeah. That's a tough part for me to get. It's like the next step of saying, "Oh, would you like to talk about this more?" I'd love to tell you more about it.
How you do it is you seem really interested in this.
You seem really interested.
It's about them. You seem really interested. Yeah, I am. Would you like to talk to me about it further?
Okay.
When we have time to really,
I'm writing this down boldly.
Yeah, write it down. So you seem really interested in this, or you seem really interested.
Okay.
I did the when thing, but it was at a convention where there were other therapists, and what I got was a sense of confused looks like, what are you really trying to say? And that made me lose my sense of enthusiasm for it, because now I'm feeling like I should have just told them what I do, because that's the people I'm talking to. So I think it might be a different thing when you're with people who are not in the field.
One of the things you can do, Joan, when you find yourself in a room of other therapists, because you all talk the same language, is you're going to say, I'm working with a new marketing person, and we're doing this exercise, and I'd like to try it out on you, and imagine that you don't know anything about therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Set them up.
Yeah.
They're going to go, they're used to like, okay, just tell me what your modality is.
That's right. We all want to help each other, so it's good.
Yeah, it's all great, right? So then you get this interaction with them, and they can go, oh yeah, I can see how that, I'm going to use that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, oh, that's kind of cool, I'm going to use that. Or they're going to go, that's really interesting. It's a little bit different for you. You should definitely try it out on people who are not your immediate people. Be like if I went to a marketing convention of branders and designers and blah, 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 we'd all be saying the same thing probably. And we just go, yeah, tell me something new. So that's when I say, I work with people who think marketing sucks. I'll just amp it.
Oh my God, Anne.
Right. I'll just amp it up a little bit so that, because you find that as therapists or as healers or as, people helping other people look really beautiful and all that, y'all all have a tendency to say the same thing.
Yeah.
So you want to wake them up. So part of that is, when they say, what do? You go, well, like, what was your cartoon character, Jean?
A Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Wile E. Coyote is always. So Wile E. Coyote, tell me about Wile E. Coyote, actually. Because I was Roadrunner. I like Roadrunner.
Yeah. Roadrunner is the one that's dropping the anvil on Wile E. Coyote. But Wile E. Coyote never gives up. He keeps coming back around. He keeps trying. He's very persistent.
Okay. So that's how you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to them in some weird language that is out of how all you therapists talk about yourselves.
That's helpful, but it will take some practice.
This is all about playing.
Yeah.
It's all about imagining, particularly when you're with people that are really hip to what you do.
Right.
It's about being 5 years old. If you were 5 years old and somebody asked you, what do you do? You're going to get a lot of answers that are really fun.
So part of what I'm having an issue is because we were all raised to be quite polite, and the waiting till somebody asks you, what do you do? I'd rather not wait. I'd rather just be able to walk up to somebody and start talking so that I can get their attention that way. Because
you can. You just walk up to them and you go, hey, what brought you here?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get involved in that? What are you passionate about? Tell me something you're excited about today. That always flips people out.
Yeah.
Because they're not, usually it's, they'll tell you something they're not excited about, But people are thrown off guard when you ask them questions that aren't the usual question. Like, what do you love about, one of them that I like is, what do you love about your life? And they're like, what? They pause and they think, and they either find something or they find all the things they don't like. And then all of a sudden you have an opening. Well, when, when, because they're going to tell you right up front all the stuff that's not working. Your job is to really engage somebody with questions that people don't ask, or present this emotional moment that they can go, yeah, that happens all the time. I try to open my front door with my car door opener. That's how stressed out I am. So when you try to open your front door with your car keys, with your car opener, that's when you're pretty stressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a story like that. I have a sister who put the coffee pot in the refrigerator and not paying attention, and
yeah, when you're
couldn't find it later because it's not where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, when you're so not present, you would actually put the coffee pot in the refrigerator.
Yeah,
they're cracked up because they'll have some other thing they've done, right? We all do this. So it's just a way for you to begin to relate and then find an area to talk to. Mm-hmm. Right? So did you do your power words and?
No, I just did the who's your favorite world leader portion.
Who's your favorite world leader?
Barack Obama.
Cool. Why?
Because he projects a sense of integrity and friendliness and strength.
Uh-huh.
And I think I came to that admiration over time because I wasn't initially so sure that was true about him.
Because you take a little while. You like to do your research.
I warm up. Yes, I am an introvert.
I love to check them out, see what's going on. So yeah. I think, sometimes we can just say to people, you can use your fascination advantage. Who are you and what do you do? Well, I'm a person that I'm a combination of innovation and passion. Mm-hmm. And how I present that in the world as I work in branding and marketing, right? And you can start with something that's a lot more interesting. So even though you're a therapist or whatever, you can say, well, I'm actually known as, what was yours?
Oh, the primary was Mystique and the secondary was Alert.
Right. So what was the name of it?
The Archer.
Yeah, I could actually use the name if you want. Mm-hmm. I'm known as the Archer. I'm really true with what I do. I'm very focused. And I take a great amount of care. You could just apply it right to being an archer if you want. Mm-hmm. It's about, again, a lot of you are in these healing arts as if it's a fiercely focused intent.
Yeah.
Right? Or you can say, part of my personality that's really fascinating is I am known as the Archer. And I speak and alert. So I'm very quiet. People aren't really sure what I'm thinking, but I'm very, very focused. And I hear everything.
That kind of goes along with what Dawn Marie was talking about, is having that focused attention to listening to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, it's just how you guys put the words together. How you can distinguish it. Like Dawn Marie was saying, well, I nurture, but, I'm really more about being fierce. And I think for you, Jean, you're more of kind of I would call you a force to be reckoned with. You say to people, I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, there are some people that would agree with you on that.
Yeah, no, because I'm quiet with a lot of depth. Nothing goes by me. Something like that. You know, it's a way of kind of claiming a space for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, instead of, oh, I'm an introvert.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of expressing my larger self, which I really haven't done. So yes, it's uncomfortable, and I'm still ready to do it. So
Yeah, it's great because it's going to be uncomfortable. Listen, when I express my bigger self, I'm uncomfortable all the time. I just can't imagine that that's how people see me, but they do. That's the crazy part about it. As you claim it, they'll respond and they'll go, yeah, that's right. That's you.
Hmm.
How about you, Lance?
I'm behind on the homework.
Okay.
So I'll make a commitment to you, though. I will complete the homework assignments from this point on. No excuses for it, really. I was traveling and still kind of recovering. So.
Okay. So, did you work on any? Do you want to work on some right now? I can kick around some ideas with you.
Sure.
Since I know you so well.
Sure.
So power words. Always a good place to start. Or your favorite cartoon character.
That one's a little easier.
Okay, go to the cartoon character.
I'd say Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. Okay, and why do you like Bugs Bunny?
I think it's a witty sense of humor. He tends to come out on top, even though there's kind of a lack of focus. He seems to kind of win in the end.
Yeah, he always kind of, it's like, you know, always pulls it out of the hat, right?
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a smart ass, I think. Don't you think?
Smart ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
A little bit?
absolutely.
Like irreverent, a little irreverent, which I actually think would be okay if you showed that part.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you have a tendency to be a little more appropriate, I guess would be the right word.
Sure.
Appropriate in your behavior, right? And that's okay too. I mean, Bugs Bunny is a very likable character,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even though he makes all these, he kind of makes a lot of mistakes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he still seems to be the character that everybody wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in understanding that you can make a whole bunch of mistakes and still be successful, or still be on top, still land on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, when you think about what you do, you work with people like that,
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
right? So it could be kind of fun to use a little of that Bugs Bunny-ness in your conversation with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all are attracted to people and cartoon characters and all that stuff because we identify with them.
Yeah.
We actually have parts of our own characters are tapped into that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be interested in it. Or just like people in history, right? We wouldn't be that interested in them if we didn't have an aspect like that. So how do you think you could use that in an introduction?
Use that aspect of my personality, you mean? Or
Yeah.
other than what's up, Doc?
Yeah, other than what's up, Doc? Which is okay too. I mean,
Catchphrase,
yeah,
huh?
it's kind of funny, you know.
Well, I mean, I think there's part of that comes down to genuineness too, just being genuine. I mean, I could see Bugs Bunny as being a genuine character in that sense. He's flawed. He's not perfect, kind of what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm. And I think when you can really embrace that like it's a strength,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find that people fall in love with you. You know, don't we kind of fall in love with people for the damnedest reasons?
I think we fall in love with people more for their imperfections than their perfections.
So you know that song
Their
about,
way is what I like to call it.
you know that song about your perfect imperfections?
Yeah, sure.
That's a great thing to bring to mind. People fall in love with other people,
Mhm.
and mostly because they're not perfect.
Yeah.
There's a soft part that we want to feel that's there that we can relate to. And you do have kind of a superstar, like, you know, you have a superhero stature.
Hmm.
So it's always fun to share your Achilles heel or your kryptonite with somebody,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Like when I share with people that I have stage fright, they just don't believe it. But
Hmm.
it's true. I just get freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm fine once I'm on the stage. Prior to getting on the stage, I am freaked out.
Yeah.
You know, there's those kinds of things that make people fall in love with you. And, you know, I should ask you this while I have you on the call, because we're going to do storytelling next time. And I would like to share the story that I wrote for you.
Sure.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Because it shows the powerfulness of vulnerability.
Hmm.
Right, particularly with men, it's very powerful. If you have a man like you crying in the middle of the room, everybody's crying.
Hmm.
They can't resist letting go, right? So I know that you talk to really high-powered lawyers and guys like that, right? So do you feel comfortable presenting yourself not perfectly?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, there's fear around that for sure.
Other sphere? Okay.
Yeah.
That's always good. So the learning point is wherever there's fear, that's where the power is.
Hmm.
If you're not afraid, you don't have anything at stake. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other. But when we're engaged, the fear will be there.
Yeah.
Really cool. That's how you always know you're doing
I think
something
it's
good.
learning to feel comfortable in my therapist suit with lawyers and not try to be a lawyer, you know, because I think that, you know, I'm just thinking about this now as we're talking about it, because I'm trying to be an addition to what they do for their case, not another lawyer. So
Yeah, you don't want to be,
not going to
there's
be
no
like them. You know,
competition.
I'm not necessarily going to be like they are. You know what I mean? They're not bringing me on as a partner like a lawyer. You're bringing on a therapist. So I'm going to be a therapist. You know, I'm not going to hold myself maybe the same way.
You know, soft and squishy.
Little soft and squishy. Yeah.
Because they're not soft and squishy. They are, but they're not going to show you that. Because that's not, you know, that's not their persona.
Mhm.
But your soft and squishy is totally great. It's great because it's part of the package.
Yeah.
Cool.
And to that degree, that's what I'm bringing, you know.
Yeah, that's what you bring.
You know, they don't want to listen to their clients' problems, but they kind of get drawn into that sometimes. And they're like, wow, this isn't really, this is not what I'm built for, you know?
Yeah, that's not what they're made to do. That's what you're made to do.
Yeah.
So you can bring that. You know, well, this is what I do, you know. You might even say that, you know, hey, you know, I'm like the guy with the big heart and I'm soft and squishy, but I'm not a pushover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kind of twist it. It's kind of like when we were talking to Don Marie about use those two things, you know, about being fiercely compassionate. You use that too, you know, you're fiercely compassionate, but you're also like, you know, for a big galoot, you know, like a big superpower, you're actually soft and squishy.
Yeah.
And so it would be okay to say you're softy squishy.
Hmm.
I mean, try it. I'm just curious how it would land. I think it would be great, actually. But, you know, I'm kind of crazy like that. I know I'll make you uncomfortable. I'm like, try it.
Sure.
It's 5:52, so I just want to know if everybody got something they needed from the coaching.
Yeah.
Any other questions or something that we can address in the next?
I just wanted to know if all of the homework had been addressed in the previous video, because I didn't come into the video on time last time. So it's like there's this section here where what's your adjective?
Yeah, your adjective, Jean, is one of those things to look at, like when Dawn Marie was sharing about when you do the power words, the point of that particular, if you see the exercises, they're numbered like 1, 2, 3.
Right.
The reason I did that is I wanted you guys to do them in that order.
Okay.
And then do the emotional moments and the simple tagline, because you'll be able to put it together, because you'll have words, you'll have things that you've been thinking about.
I got a little confused on the tagline part of it. I got all the expressive words, and I apologize for the sunglasses. I couldn't find my regular glasses. Can't see without glasses, so
I
hence.
just love it. You just look like a freaking movie star to me.
Yeah, you're in my house with my sunglasses
She's got
on.
her lipstick, and she's like a movie star, and I'm like, I got like missing a tooth. And
Well, I am intrigued, so part of my thing is mystique. So there you go.
yeah, perfect. So on your simple tagline, I'm just going to open it so I can see what we're talking about. So this is great. So it's really your personality tagline. So again, you can use some of the adjectives from the fascination test.
Okay.
So
I had a whole lot of adjectives, so I didn't know how to.
okay, great. So you got to go for your top 3.
Okay.
So if you pick your top 3 out of your list, what would you pick?
Uh,
The ones that just obviously
creative, enthusiastic, non-judgmental, or patient,
Okay. So
or flexible. You know, those kind of all were the same.
okay. And then when you go down, you see these questions, right? Ask yourself which adjective best completes these sentences. Which one best describes how you're different? People always count on me to be.
Oh, people always count on me to be resourceful, kind, flexible, non-judgmental, creative, enthusiastic.
So I can solve certain problems better than anyone else because.
I listen to your needs, and
So you have a listening. Everyone's got a listening.
yeah.
So I think.
But I'm also very perceptive and observant. So
Yeah.
more observant and with more perceptive and observant than just listening. It's not just about listening.
Yeah, I would say you're perceptive.
Yeah.
Observant, it's not quite as sexy.
Yeah.
You are definitely sexy, dealing in a world of we want to be sexy. So
Yeah.
that's why that word rings a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay. And at my highest value, I deliver.
This got a little, well, I couldn't come up with a word. I deliver, well, everybody feels really good after working with me. Everybody feels better. They feel,
Why do they feel better?
because they feel, they love how they look. They love how now they can express how they look and feel. They feel in control of their I'm going to say wardrobe for lack of a better word, but it's really their environment and their image.
Okay.
And they feel better about themselves.
Don Marie, go.
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal. So you can say it in a lot of different ways, sex appeal, right?
Uh-huh.
It could be mojo. It could be style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, style's a good one.
You know, style like hot style. Like
Mhm.
do a play on words of haute, you know?
Mm-hmm.
H-A-U.
Haute style.
Yeah, but you just say hot,
Yeah, hot.
right? Hot style. But you could use that word as a word, or you know, I kind of see what you do is very creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably say that people count on me for to help them really express, for creative expression, to tap into their true creative expression. Think about them.
Yeah.
Your perception of who they are, and the fact that, you know, I'm going to just say this longhand, your perception of who they are in a non-judgmental way allows them to really express themselves creatively, or have their true creative expression.
And that's it in a nutshell. That's really what I do, and what I love to do, and how they feel about it too, because they're not judged, and then allows them at the end to express themselves creatively through their style, not mine, through their unique style.
Not yours. So it's really allowing them to see or to express themselves in style, or in fashion, or however you want to say it. And for the way Don Marie was going, it's essentially looking like you're rich, happy, and hot. Simply, we all,
I like that.
as a woman, we all want that. We want to look, whether we are or not, we want to look and feel rich, happy, and hot. Okay? That's just it. I mean, that's kind of the nutshell of what it is.
What did you say? Something sexy and hot?
So
What was
rich, happy, and hot.
happy and hot?
Or you can say rich, sexy, and hot. But I think when you say hot, you imply sexy. So
Yeah.
everybody wants to feel rich, happy, and hot, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that's what you help people do. That's
Sign me up.
Yeah. I help women feel rich, happy, and hot. You know, that you're gonna have people flocking over to where you are. You're like, really?
Really?
Right? Wave my fairy godmother of rich, happy, and hot, and just wave it, just rub it on me. That's what I always do about that stuff. So I mean, this is, you know, you have a realm of playfulness, but you're also you're very you know, you have a style, right, and a flair about yourself. So people are going to be attracted to you for that. So when you say, well, you know, I help you to really express that, so you can feel rich, happy, and hot.
I love that. Okay.
Give it to me, right, Don Marie? We're like, sign us up. Come to my
Come on over.
Right.
And wear the sunglasses everywhere.
We're all gonna get the same glasses, right? We should all take a picture of all of us with the same sunglasses on.
It's embarrassing. Sometimes I'm watching TV with these things on because I can't find my glasses.
That's hysterical. Right. Okay, well, I just want to say it's a few minutes past the hour. Let's see what time it really is. Let me put my glasses. Oh, 6:01, not too bad. So our next week, we're going to go into storytelling. We're going to go into your personal stories, what makes your DNA the way that it is.
Mm.
It's really powerful, and it gives you an opportunity to begin to learn how to write stories that you can use in your marketing, and that also gives you a whole idea of what people are actually buying from you. People don't really buy what you think they're buying. They're buying in this from a subconscious emotion that you actually provide. So it's a really powerful teaching, and then we're going to have you guys write some stuff, and I'm going to have to think of an action for you. Well, continue to work on the homework. Again, the biggest thing is to go out and share at whatever level. Email, Facebook, at the coffee store. And then if you want to add as an extra bonus for really scaring yourself, it's inviting them to have a conversation with you. Well, you seem really interested in that. I've gotten clients like that.
Wow.
Saying, wow, you seem really interested in that. Would you like to explore it further?
Explore.
It worked on me.
I think I might have done it with you, Jean. So
Yep.
right, I'm just teaching you things that I do that I know work that are not salesy, right? It's not salesy. It's just giving someone an opportunity to see if it's something that's right for them,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Okay, great. Good work.
Bye.
Bye. And I will get you hooked up, Jean.
Thank you.
Dawn Marie, did you send me that link for the homework?
Okay, what am I supposed to, I'm not clear on what I'm supposed to send you.
Well, you said you got the email that had the link where you could go over to the website,
okay.
download the homework, and look at the video. So I
I'll
don't.
send you a response to that.
Okay.
I'll respond to that. It'll come back to you. Does that work?
Great. I just want to make sure that everybody learns how to go. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, some of us need extra help.
All right. Terrific. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Anne.
Bye.
Bye.